What's up, everybody? Welcome to Hammerdown Motorsports. Today we are doing one of our first full-length videos on the 2020 Iron. Yes, we do have a Harley in the garage now. I'm very excited for it, and this is going to be our first accessory that we're going to be adding to the bike, which I'm pretty sure for most people in this day and age, when you use your phone a lot, is kind of something that you're going to be looking to do, is getting a phone mount for your bike. This is the one I chose. Let's see what we got. So starting out, we do have my iPhone. This is my 15 Pro Max, and I do have a Rok Form case. Not sponsored, but Rok Form, if you're listening, definitely love your products, and I've thoroughly enjoyed this phone case. I've dropped it a bunch of times. My kids have dropped it. It's always held up really well. And honestly, my OtterBox broke. So I was like, well, I've heard good things about the Rok Form. Let's go with that. And I really did like the fact that it's magnetic. And the durability, because I am rough on phone cases, this one did the job, so that's why I went with it. It has a little thing in the back, which is this when you first get it, and I took that out because we're gonna need it for our mounting system. So what I did is I ordered their motorcycle perch phone mount, and then I actually ordered their insulator as well. So this is the vibration dampener, because, well, we're running a Harley and they vibrate. So that's what we're gonna be running today. And this thing is a solid piece of aluminum. I mean, listen to that. And it has this release for your phone to twist it out. So basically what happens is, this is where it goes in, and then you turn it and lock it in, and then you use this little lever right here to release it. And then with this optional piece is going to go onto this piece right here, which is actually going to go right into the factory holes on the motorcycle for our controls, which is really nice. There's no clamping or anything like that. This goes right into what we already have on the bike from the factory. And just on a side note, I gotta say, the Rok Form has the box game on lock. I mean, probably only rivaled maybe to Apple. There's a magnet in the box, so that always goes together. It's got this little fabric tab. You open it up, and then you have your graphics on the inside here. And then it has a drawer. So you just pull the drawer open, and you can get all of your stuff out, and it's all packaged very nicely. And we do have, this one has a plastic insert, some of them have foam as well. And yeah, just, I mean, if you're into the unboxing, I don't think it gets much better than this, honestly. And the quality just feels really good in your hand. That's really all I can say about it. Even though I did get a little bit of a discount because I used the DDE discount code, which I will have in the description as well. It's DDE 2025. You want to get a discount on this stuff when you order it. I do not have my own yet, but I've never spoken with Rok Form in any way, so maybe one day I will. But let's get on to getting this installed to our mount, and then we can figure out how this is all going to go onto the motorcycle, and then we can kind of show you how the phone's going to just click into place and how ease of use is and all that kind of thing, getting it released and how well it does function on the bike without having that worrying about that thing falling off or anything like that. So we have everything open here with our vibration dampener, and what you're going to want to do is flip it over. We have the lever going this way, and then we're going to take the one that has the little square on it, just like that. And there's an arrow, and the arrow is going to line up with this lever right here. And then you'll see the bolt holes line up, and then we're going to take these little screws that comes in the bag, and we're going to tighten down this plate with the square adapter on it. So this is our motorcycle mount that's going to attach to the bike itself. There is this piece that's already on here, because if you opt to not go with the vibration dampener, you're just going to use it as is. Obviously we're adding this, so we're going to have to remove this piece, which I already removed the bolt that goes in from behind. All the tools come with the Rok Form kit, which is really nice. So this piece we're not going to need. And then you can see the back of our vibration dampener. We do have the square piece that's just going to line, oop, I'm dropping stuff. Then you can see the square on the back of our vibration dampener that we just put on is going to align with this piece right here. We'll just get that in place. See that all kind of splines together there. And then we're going to use the screw that we took out to remove the one that came on our motorcycle mount. We can put that in the back. That's going to screw right into the vibration dampener and get this entire unit all put together. And these Allen keys sometimes are a little bit tricky, but we're just using the tools that it came with. Obviously you can use your own stuff if you need to. And we got that nicely in place. So here is our mounting location right by all of our factory controls, is these two Torx right here. And with our new Rok Form ones, there's actually a spacer and a little rubber isolator, and that's actually gonna move our mount out a little bit so it doesn't rub or anything like that on our factory clamp. So here we have our T25, so we're gonna loosen off. I'm gonna start with the top one here and see if we can sneak our mount in there without loosening them both at the same time. Just kind of see how this all works out. So here you can see we do have our top bolt in. I just have this sitting here just kind of loosely so we can get the bottom one out and get everything put into place, and then we can tighten that down as well. And one thing to remember too, there is two different thread pitches of bolt that they do provide. So I believe one's for the Harley, one's probably for the metric cruisers. So make sure you have the right thread pitch. Just check it with the old bolt, pretty simple stuff. So let's get our bottom bolt out here. We can get that one out of the way and then get our Rok Form one in. We can turn this down, get our spacer in place. You can see our rubber isolator there and our spacer. I use the one that has a little kind of a step down. There's two different spacers that has as well. I believe this is the one that we're supposed to be using for this. Seems to fit very well, but just make sure that you're using the right equipment for your bike. So let's get that bolt out of there and let's get this whole thing in place and kind of show you how to adjust it. And ironically enough, my Harley does take the metric bolts, and it does say metric right on there. I didn't even notice that until now, but there it is in case you're confused. But if you're like me and you want to make sure that everything is evenly tightened down and torqued, a company called Suzumi sent me this kit of torque wrenches to try out. So very excited to see how these work. It's really cool that they do have a kit that has 3 different torque wrenches in it and it has 3 extensions as well. So that's pretty awesome. These actually have a locking head so you can lock your socket in place. You're not gonna lose anything. It has this nice case where everything snaps into place, and then you can have all of your torque wrenches from 1/2 inch, 3/8, all the way down to 1/4 inch. You got inch pounds, all that. I mean, very nice setup so far. So we do have our little 1/4 inch right here, and I already have it set up to 70 inch pounds, which it says 60 to 70 inch pounds for these. And I'm gonna grab my T25, get that on there, and we can torque up our mount and make sure that everything is nice and even. So if you're interested in what ranges these actually do, we do have our little 1/4 inch here, does 20 to 220 inch pounds. And then we have our 3/8 that will do 5 to 45 foot-pounds, and then we have the bigger 1/2 inch, which does 10 to 170 foot-pounds. So pretty much more or less whatever you're going to be doing as far as engine work or motorcycle stuff, the smaller things, I mean, it goes all the way up to 170, so this will pretty much have you covered. All right, so there we go. Click there. And there we go. Did take 2 hands, but we're all torqued up. So if you're working on motorcycles a lot and you're looking for a nice torque wrench set that isn't crazy expensive, you can get this entire set for under $90. You really can't go wrong with that, especially with a nice case to put in your toolbox or your truck or whatever. It's a very nice setup, and very big thanks to Suzumi for sending these out, and so far so good. So I've been playing around with this thing a little bit, and with having this arm on the bottom is nice, but with my tank lift, if I turn the bars all the way to one side, it wants to touch the tank. And that's not gonna work because you're gonna forget, and then this is the actual side that normally you would have kind of just fall naturally to the one side when you turn the wheel, and I don't want to ding up the tank, so we're gonna try flipping it around and see how that goes. We do have the option to put it on the other side if we want to, but I do kind of like having it on the left-hand side. Everything here is good with the controls. I mean, even with the phone on, it's out far enough that you can get to all your buttons, no problem. But yeah, we're gonna have to flip this around and try to see if that's gonna be better. I do like the low profile look, but we have to have functionality too. All right, so this is what I came up with as far as my positioning, and it works for me because it doesn't actually hit the tank at full lock. We're all the way, and there's no contact whatsoever with the isolator and the phone. You can see how much the isolator allows this to move, so it's not gonna shake loose on you, and you do have this release lever down here, so it doesn't just, turn on its own and end up falling off if you're going over some rough roads, things like that. But let's straighten the bars out here. You give you guys a little bit of a look of how that looks. Obviously you can have your phone sideways, and it really depends on your motorcycle on how you want to have this all set up. This is kind of my riding position right here, and then we have the phone right here. My hand is here, nothing's hitting my hand at all, and I can reach all my buttons behind it just from the angle of the way this is sitting. But drop in the comments, what do you guys think of this setup? Once I have something else in this area, we're gonna see how this all looks, and maybe we might move it over here. I'm not entirely sure yet, but this is just kind of my preliminary trying out this setup and seeing how it all works with the bike. And this is honestly the best I could do so we don't hit the tank, and so we can see the phone while we're riding without it looking crazy up in the air. Obviously you can put this a little bit higher up, but then the phone I felt set too high, and any lower we're going to contact the tank. So that's where we're at with it right now, and maybe we'll switch it over there eventually and just kind of play with it and see where the best is going to be. But this is where we're at for now. Take it for a ride, see how it all works out. But if you guys are looking for the Rok Form case, and if you're looking for the Rok Form mount for your motorcycle, and you have a 883 iron in this exact same configuration, this is kind of what you're dealing with. Obviously on different bar setups, different heights, all that kind of stuff, the positioning is going to be different, but this is what I can come up with for today. So this is what the mount looks like without the phone on, just as your bike's sitting there. It's kind of just a little bit of a view of how that is. And you can see kind of what I was going for without trying to be higher than our brake reservoir or our speedometer. You know, we have a couple of little things sticking up here just so it doesn't look completely out of place. But functionality, it should be absolutely amazing. This thing is a very stout unit, very solid. You're not going to worry about this thing trying to turn on you, being that you are using the factory mounting point, and we're not scratching up the bars or anything like that, which is really nice as well. So we'll see how everything works as we just use this through daily life. But drop in the comments, what do you guys think of the Rok Form motorcycle mount with the isolator, and just kind of how that whole Rok Form case works in general? And if you guys stayed to this point in the video, we are going to be taking off this sissy bar and just kind of cleaning up the lines of the bike a little bit. And there it is, nice and clean on the back. It is a quick release, so you can just take this thing off and pop it back on if you want to. If you want to take one of the kids for a ride or something like that, I might pop that back on, but I think I'm going to end up trying to find the right bolts for these, because I imagine these are longer, so you can accommodate all of that. So I might have to try to find some rear fender bolts for this thing and be able to just permanently remove that. There's also, well, we're not going to get into all the things that I want to do, but there's some other things definitely that we're going to be changing up on this bike. So definitely stay tuned for that. So there it is, everybody, our first accessory on my 2020 Iron 883. If you guys like the motorcycle content, definitely drop a comment in the comment section. Drop in Harley or whatever you'd like to say, and I can communicate with you guys there. But our first accessory is done. We have more stuff on the way. Hope you guys are excited for that. I sure am, and I can't wait to go ride some more. We did have a little bit of rain today, so hopefully we're going to get a little bit of a clear spot where I can actually go out and enjoy this thing as it's meant to be. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and as always, keep that hammer down.